Alright, good morning, folks. Family and friends. It's a Stardate. It's July 19th by now, and it's Captain's Log. So, as per my post, Coal Lake was filling up since we got, well, we didn't get the rain, but upstate, or up north in Ark City, Kansas sure did. So, needless to say, Coal Lake filled back up a good 2 feet. So, here we are playing the waiting game all over again. So, I figured I'd come, in the meantime while we're waiting for Caw Dam to stop and give us some walkable riverbanks. In the meantime, we're exploring nature. Also kind of like a little promptu, hometown tour, memory lane kind of thing. So this here is the 101 Ranch Grounds. You see the silo, I see all the little birds around it. Over here was the 101 Ranch General Store. Now, this is the last building that was standing up until about, I think it caught fire in the late 80s. Now, interesting factoid, my bonus dad's sister, she actually lived in the general store. This is what we're looking at here, is the general store. It's a 2-story building. If I can find one of the pictures that I'd taken in my Google photos, I'll post it as a community post thingy. Yeah, before I delve into this, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It's free. Best part, hit the bell icon so you're notified, so when I do post stuff, you are privy. Do check and make sure that you're not randomly unsubscribed. And as desired in the YouTube community, please like, comment, and share. As I hinted earlier, I typically like to get out and find flint chippies, artifacts, uranium glass, or just any other interesting fossils or relics from yesteryear. I also dig nature, animals especially, wildlife, weather phenomenon. So, and I do dabble with a little cooking and crocheting. So in our off time, you might see a little plethora of different stuff. So, oh, I got a shout out. Welcome aboard, 135th subscriber. Hoo-hoo, you're epic and rock. We were kind of plateaued there for a while at 134. And yes, our goal is still at 150. If we can get to 150, my buddy Stephanie's going to be joining us some form or fashion or make a cameo on a video. So, and I hope she does get to go out and walk because she's such a city girl. Okay, so here we are. Got this huge insect here. Shoot. Okay, here, let me get out there. You kind of get more of an idea of what the general store looked like. Now, here, like in I think it was 1987, give or take, and our area had the remnants of a tropical depression come through here, and it flooded, like, no joke. My bonus dad's sister, if I remember the tale correctly, she had to get out there on the 2nd story and be rescued out of there with an airboat. We got in there after the waters receded, and there was a silt line running the bottom wall. It was about a good 6 to 8 feet tall at the time. It was way taller than I was, I'll tell you that. So, you can see some evidence of the tile work. That's so neat. Now, I remember there was a basement that had water in it. Ooh. Neat. So there's a basement that had water in it, and snakes is what my cousin would tease me with. So I never did venture there. I remember this big old moose head that was, part of the 101 general store days, I'm sure. I can't remember what this was. This wasn't a mausoleum or anything like that, no. God bless. I'll have to ask bonus dad. It's like, do you remember what this room was? Okay, hold on. Okay, that's the okay, so this must have been the office. Okay, yeah, there's the tile. Oh, how cool. Okay. Now, let me walk around here. Now, part of the thing is there's also, I guess they had a bear on these grounds at some point. There's a little jail building across the street, and I'll try to get it, where they would keep the bear. In fact, here we go. Here's a deal with Tony the bear. Tony the bear was in a large cage under the tree by the store. People would buy him pop, and sadly, he became diabetic and died. I remember my bonus dad would talk about stories about this bear, too. Wow. Okay. Oh my God, Tony's tie down. Is there a date on it? Oh, it's just 101. Oh, wow. And of course, I can't take pictures while I'm doing videos. I don't understand that. Okay, so you got a little picnic pavilion. I did decide to wear my boots because I noticed the grass is a little tall and there's still some other stuffs we need to get to as well. So, stand by. Okay. I was today years old seeing this. And I've come out here, I visited here about 2, 3, 4 years ago just to kind of jog my memory. I guess was this overgrown? But yeah, there's a whole cement pond there. I guess there is an alligator. Oh my goodness, I was today years old learning this. Okay, what else are we gonna... Okay, I think here is the bear den. Now, real quick, Salt Fork River, I think, runs where those trees are. And if you remember when we went to the artifact show at the Pioneer Woman Museum, there was a couple that had a pretty impressive shadow box full of... And here's the bear cave. The cave was built for Tony the bear to hibernate in winter. Huh. Yeah, sure enough, there's the cave. Okay, I see some other signs peppered around here, so I'm going to kind of see what those are or what they say. I can't remember what those are offhand. Wow, bear cave. That is so cool. Okay, so this sign says hotel with a restaurant, which, I don't remember this part either. How wild. How wild. So it's not very far away from the building, and, 5th grade me would be running around outside playing and stuff. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, I guess this is the foreman's house. Okay. Oh, good call on wearing the boots. Oh, there is a dragonfly. Oh, I love him. He's got spots on his wings. Okay, that's just a big piece of farm equipment. That's kind of cool, though. God bless. That is pretty close to the Salt Fork. Okay, and yeah, I can see why there's flooding now. Okay, let me see what these signs, if they're anything interesting. Huh. This one's got the 101 Ranch Wild West Showgirls, 1915. Huh, that's pretty cool. This sign's a little cracked and faded, but it does talk about Bill Pickett, the bulldogger. I think we need to find out who does the 101 Ranch Old Timers Association. Let them know their sign needs to be replaced. I can't read what it's trying. I just know it features Bill Pickett, and that's about it. Okay, this sign just features the rodeo grounds. We're kind of still over here by the bear cave. I guess a little pad that had the hotel on it. Okay. Starting to get a little warm. It's going to be hot. I think bonus dad reported it's going to be heat index of like 109 or some nonsense. Oh, okay. This sign, and I know the glare isn't great. It's the grandstand. Grandstand built in 1924. Rodeos, terrapin derbies, movies, and Easter pageants were held here. Interesting. Okay, let me get a picture while there's no traffic. So here is the little cage that had the bear. It's starting to crumble down, but you can still see it. And I can't take a picture, so stand by. Boy, as I'm walking though, I see a lot of flint stuck in the cement. Wow. A few flint chippies in here, dang it. Okay. Okay. So again, can't really see the images, but this has a picture of the White House. And we'll feature that. I just can't swivel because you'll get my car in the image, yeah. So the White House was the actual home. And I have a book I have to dig for. It is like the history of, our county. And I'd seen pictures, no joke, of that whole front yard being flooded, and the, Miller kids were basically, they had their own impromptu swimming hole in their very front yard. So, constructed in 1909. That's a lot of reading. Trying to read. I can't remember when it was or what happened to it. I guess the last surviving Miller son, Zach Miller, was evicted from the family home. And I guess in 1937, the federal government purchased the ranch for subdivision as a Depression-era resettlement program. It was auctioned at 1943 as a further insult to the one-time Palace on the Prairie. So that was not Marlin Mansion. It was the 101 Ranch. The Palace on the Prairie was demolished in 1943. Okay, wow. So, there's the sign. Sorry for the glare. Old boundary line here, named for the cattle brand 101. Began by George Miller over his claim at opening of Cherokee Strip, September 16, 1893. Wow. Okay, so here's some other little signs. Just a welcome. Stone mark. Okay, here's something that features the Native American involvement. Success of the ranch was directly related to the good relationships with the 5 area tribes, the Ponca, the Tonquah, Oto, Osage, and Kaw. Without Native American cooperation, it is doubtful the ranch would have grown to its international standing as America's largest diversified farm and ranch during its zenith. Of course, they played a significant role in the ranch's entertainment venue. Sorry, I'm reading. So I guess mainly dancing and shows and stuff. Wow. It's pretty cool. Sorry if the sun's not getting the gentleman's pictures. Okay. Got some nice little cacti. Okay, so this sign is kind of like a duplicate, it runs the history of the Palace on the Oklahoma Prairie. Okay, there's a much better picture of the actual White House. Okay, here we go. And then it says that's the actual general store building. That's the building I remember. Okay. So, there's the silos that you see. And then the only other evidence is the house itself. So, wow. Let's check it out. I do see some signs peppered. And then there's the silo that I just pointed out. Of course, you can't really see it with all the trees. Now, I gotta wonder out loud. It's dedicated memory of Joe C. Miller Jr., August 18th, 2001. Okay. Yeah, I have to wonder out loud what the morel hunting would be around here. The trees, you're right close to the river. I don't know. Oh, dang it. I thought you could at least get up on the steps. Oh my gosh, there's a little lizard. Oh, he disappeared. Dang it all. Oh well. It's wild. Yeah, you wonder if you could find slivers of funglass. It's possible. Sorry, let me shrink. Sorry, shrinking back down. Okay, let's see what the signs say. Okay. Well, this sign's a little degraded. Asbestos sentry shingles. Oh boy. Times have changed, haven't they? Okay, there's a better representation of the silo. I don't know what I did to my phone, but apparently I can't take pictures while doing a video like I could in the past. You got a big old cottonwood tree. I don't know, man. Sure got me thinking. There's the other gates. We went through one gate. I'm not going to swivel because I'll probably catch my car. And you can see the yeah, you can see the windmills. I don't like them things. Sorry, not a fan. Not practical. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against alternative energies. You know, Iceland has the the geothermal. You know, with the volcanoes and stuff. You know, I'm dam hydroelectricity. I'm okay with that, so I'm not averse. The windmills are impractical, they're ugly, they're an eyesore. I'm just, in conclusion, not a fan. Okay, we got a video of Colonel Miller on a horse. Doesn't have a year, but okay. Also, this is kind of for my friend Stephanie. We are here around a catalpa tree. And I've heard these catalpa trees, you know, here's your bean pods. I heard these bean pods supposedly have a worm in them, that a little green worm with black stripes that are supposed to make good bait. So I'll crack it open here later. Oh, there's another catalpa tree right in front of the silo. Okay. Good call wearing the boots. I keep my boots in my car with, you know, if I'm not wearing jeans, I need knee socks because otherwise it'll rub a strawberry on my shin and that's painful. Okay. Ooh, hold on. What do we got here? The Ranch Cafe. Yeah, there's the silo. Huh. Okay, what's the next sign? Powerhouse. Huh. Hang on. Moving around. God bless. Now I'm thinking, y'all. hang on. Hey, hang on. I think I see something else. Okay, so this is the horse barn. Huh. Lillian Frances Smith, California girl, Princess Winona, champion rifle shot of the world. Holy smokes. And it's with the 101 Ranch, Buffalo Bill, Pawnee Bill, and other Wild West shows. August 1999, a tombstone will be dedicated on her unmarked grave at the Oddfellows Cemetery in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Huh. Okay. Some other signs. And I see this metal thingy. We'll get to it. Okay. That must be the duplicate of the other sign that was really degraded. This has the better... Yeah. Wow. Okay. It's starting to get warm out here, folks. I may have to start wrapping this up here pretty darn quick. Okay, here's one about Bill Pickett, 1870 through 1932. Oh my gosh. He continued with the 101 until he died following an accident in 1932, and he's kicked in the head while separating Zach Miller's horses. Oh my God, how horrifying. I did not know that's how he met his end. Holy shnikes. Okay, that's a packing house, okay. Huh, a dairy barn. How about that? Yeah, God bless it. River Axe, okay. Okay, we got some other signs, Captain. Let's go. Okay, hold on. I gotta see what this little building is, too. I wasn't able to get to it. Okay, there's a cotton gin. Okay. Oh, ooh. Okay. Yeah, there's the refinery. Wow. Okay. I don't see any eagles or any other interesting wildlife. That's okay. Huh. Elephant building. Sweet potato warehouse later converted to the elephant building. Huh. Okay. Now, what is this thing? Oh. Okay. 101 dairy barn vent from dairy barn, early 1900s. Huh. And of course, we got a piece of farm equipment. Okay. Wow. Wow. I'm going to take a picture of that. Alright, folks. I'm going to prowl around the grounds, but I think we've got all the points of interest and signs that is to be seen. So, as I hinted earlier, it's starting to get warm, so I probably need to retreat pretty darn soon back to some AC. It's going to get rude and ignorant and oppressive out there heat-wise today, so... Well, I appreciate y'all sneaking off. I'm sorry I wouldn't... Maybe tomorrow, God willing, I can get out there and go fish a little bit. I'm going to have to figure out my fishing pole, so I have to restring some or sneak over there and grab a couple from the bonus dad, maybe. Otherwise, I appreciate all, now 135 of you all. Wow. Sure know how to make a girl feel special, And I appreciate it, truly. So, I always appreciate y'all sneaking off with me, listening to us a ramble, and just try to figure out life and the way it is and why it is. I just appreciate you guys, and very grateful for your support, truly. So, here we are. We're approaching the signs and the foundation of the White House. And of course, to my left is the general store. So, haha, sorry. I just didn't want to get my car in the scene. But again, y'all, until the next time, walk, video, etc. Y'all take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Oh, looky, wildflowers, yay. So, and just more importantly, just be good to yourself as well as each other. You know, it's a struggle, and you know, we're all in this ride together, they say. So y'all just take care of yourselves and be good. This is Captain. I am loving this tile work. I'm getting ready to sign off and all. Laters. Sorry, I just noticed one other thing here. So as you notice, most of those tiles were a reddish brown. Not these. These are black. These are ones that were touched by the fire.